The graphics card game has been taken to a whole new level this year thanks to RTX 4080 supercards. These bad boys are absolute beasts, pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible in gaming performance and visuals. But with so many RTX 4080 super variants out there, it can be a dizzying task to figure out which one is the best. Well, don't worry, because in this video, we're going to break down the top 5 RTX 4080 supercards of 2024, separating the champions from the chumps. Oh, and as always, we've got all the links in the description below, so you can easily get your hands on these bad boys once we've blown your mind. Let's get this countdown started. Kicking off our countdown is the MSI RTX 4080 Super Expert. Now, this GPU is a downright productivity beast, packing some serious power into that sleek, minimalist design inspired by NVIDIA's own Founders Edition look. MSI took the reference board design from NVIDIA and gave it a slight twist with their own dual-fan semi-blower style cooler. It's a unique push-pull airflow setup that MSI claims helps feed cool air directly over the GPU core. And despite looking fairly simple, this card actually packs a nice little overclock right out of the box, too. The boost clock is pushed up to 2610 MHz, which is 60 MHz higher than the standard 4080 Super FE. You could even push it a little further, up to 2625 MHz with a quick click in MSI's tuning software. The cooler design is definitely unique and surprisingly compact for a high-end 4080 supercard, but in real-world testing, it does seem to run a bit toasty compared to some of the bigger triple fans from other brands. Where the Expert really shines, though, is in availability. Thanks to its more simplistic cooler design, these cards have seemed to remain in stock much more consistently than a lot of the premium overclocked models from other AIB partners. So if you're looking for a productivity-focused workstation GPU with clean, minimalist styling and direct availability, the MSI 4080 Super Expert is definitely worth your consideration. Next up, we've got the king of the premium pre-overclocked models, the Asus ROG Strix RTX 4080 Super OC. This card is just ridiculously over-engineered in the best way possible. Right off the bat, the absolutely bonkers overclock is going to smack you across the face. A massive 2670 MHz boost clock out of the box, which is 75 MHz higher than even MSI's Expert model. This card is just insanely fast right out of the gate. Then you've got that massive trademark ROG Strix heatsink. 3 massive fans, a Megatron-sized aluminum fin stack, and a beefy vapor chamber all combined to create one of the best coolers you've ever seen on a GPU. It's honestly just overkill, but in the best way possible. But what does all that extreme cooling buy you? Well, for starters, this thing runs surprisingly cool and quiet for such a monster overclock. You're looking at load temps around 65 Celsius, which is pretty great for a card pushing nearly 2.7 GHz on air cooling. The cooler is whisper quiet too when gaming, despite those massive fans. There's even an intelligent fan stop mode to make it completely silent when idling on the desktop. But the real star of the show with the Strix OC is the RGB lighting. This card just lights up your entire system with one of the brightest, most vibrant RGB light shows you've ever seen. The aluminum shroud is absolutely plastered with addressable RGB lights that you can sync up for some brilliant animated effects. You're also getting some premium gamer extras in the box, too. Asus includes a GPU support bracket to help keep this absolute unit from sagging in your case. There are dual HDMI 2.1 outputs for hooking up the latest displays and consoles, plus the signature Republic of Gamers design with some nice aggressive aesthetic touches. Of course, all that premium excellence comes at a steep price premium over the Founders Edition card. Asus wants a jaw-dropping $1,250 for this overclocked behemoth, which is $250 over NVIDIA's MSRP. You're really paying a ton just for the Strix name, the extreme overclock, and those crazy RGB light shows. But hey, if you've got the spare cash to splurge on the cherry on top of your flagship gaming rig, there's no better pre-overclocked 4080 Super than this absolute monster. Alright, let's bring it back down to earth a bit with a great mainstream value pick, the PNY RTX 4080 Super Verto OC. This unassuming card might not look like much, but it brings the bang for your buck in a big way. While it's not going to blow you away with crazy high clocks or insane RGB lighting, the Verto simply gets the job done at a solid price. PNY has matched Nvidia's official $1,000 MSRP, but still gives you a nice little out-of-the-box overclock over the standard 4080 Super models. The boost clock is pushed up to 2,565 MHz, which is about 15 MHz higher than the Founders Edition card. Just a nice little free performance boost right out of the gate, nothing too crazy. PNY equipped this card with a pretty standard triple fan cooler design too. It's not the most premium heatsink out there, but definitely gets the job done well. You can expect this card to run a few degrees cooler and quieter than Nvidia's own FE model under load. The Verto also includes some nice little extras in the box that other cards often leave out. There's a GPU support bracket to help reinforce the weight of this big card. And PNY even includes the required 16-pin power cable in the box too. That's always a nice added value, especially considering some other brands leave you hanging to find your own compatible power cable for the new 16-pin connector. While it lacks fancy RGB lighting or anything too flashy, the Verto is just an all-around solid mainstream 4080 Super with everything you need in a box, at a reasonable price. It's perfect for those who want close to the top-tier cooling and performance of something like ASUS's tough 4080 Super OC, but don't want to pay any inflated markup over MSRP. For a lot of gamers, the PNY Verto OC will likely be the sweet spot mainstream 4080 Super value champion. Our runner-up for best overall 4080 Super is an insane value from Gigabyte, the RTX 4080 Super Gaming OC. I'm talking stupid good performance for the money here. Right off the bat, this card comes out swinging with a higher 2,595 MHz boost clock. That's a solid 40 MHz overclock compared to the standard 4080 Super FE's boost speed, giving you a nice little free performance uplift. Then, Gigabyte backed that up with an upgraded triple fan cooler that's significantly beefier than the one on Nvidia's Founders Edition card. And let me tell you, this cooler absolutely delivers on its promise. In benchmarks, the Gigabyte 4080 Super Gaming OC runs a full 5 to 7 degrees Celsius cooler than the FE card under load. It's a lot quieter too, with the fans barely ramping up to audible levels during intense gaming sessions. There's even an alternate silent BIOS you can switch to if you really want to keep noise levels at a minimum. Gigabyte threw in some extras as well, like a dedicated metal GPU support bracket to help reinforce this big boy and prevent sag over time. There are also some customizable RGB accents if you're into a little bit of bling for your build. Now for the real kicker. This card provides all of those premium extras and performance gains, while only commanding a $50 price premium over Nvidia's $1,000 MSRP. You're getting the Gigabyte 4080 Super Gaming OC for just $1,050 currently. That is an absolute bargain for a premium, air-cooled 4080 Super with a built-in overclock. Most other premium models are charging $150 or $250 more for comparable performance gains. Seriously, with how insane the value is here, I'm shocked this isn't sold out everywhere constantly. If you want top-tier 4080 Super performance without paying too crazy a premium, the Gigabyte Gaming OC is an absolute no-brainer. Alright, it's time. Coming in at our top spot when it comes to 4080 Super GPUs in 2024 is the Asus TUF Gaming RTX 4080 Super OC. That's right. For the complete package of performance, cooling, features, and insane value, the Asus TUF OC takes the crown. This card straight up dominates in every category that matters. Let's start with that cooler. It's an absolute unit. A massive 3.5 slot design with 3 gigantic fans, a beefy vapor chamber, and more aluminum fins than a high-rise air conditioning unit. It's overkill in the best way. Asus engineered this cooler to be the supreme thermal solution for the power-hungry RTX 4080 Super. And it delivers in spades, with game-leading cooling performance that will have your GPU temps trapped in the low 60s, even under max load. What's even crazier is how quiet this thing runs despite that massive cooler. Asus tuned the fans and airflow path to be incredibly silent, even when pushing serious airflow. You'll never hear this card when gaming, it's that good. Then you've got that higher out-of-the-box overclock for extra performance right away. The boost clock is pushed up to a very healthy 2640 MHz from the factory, giving you a nice free frame rate increase over the 4080 Super FE. But the extras don't stop there. The Tough OC includes some other premium gamer features like dual HDMI 2.1 outputs for hooking up the latest displays and consoles. There's also dual BIOS switches to swap between silent and performance modes with a physical toggle. Asus even includes a 0 RPM fan stop mode to make the card completely silent when idling on the desktop. And for a little extra flair, there are some RGB light accents on the shroud and backplate that can sync up with your other system components. Basically, the Asus TUF packs in every premium feature and top-tier component you could want in a flagship GPU like the RTX 4080 Super. And despite having higher clocks, better cooling, and more features than the Founders Edition card, the TUF OC only costs $100 more at $1,100. An insane value for everything you're getting. Really, the only potential downside is its massive 4-slot thickness that could create clearance issues if trying to install this monster in some compact cases. You'll want a mid-tower or larger case to have enough breathing room. But for anyone rocking an appropriate-sized chassis, the Asus TUF RTX 4080 Super OC is hands down the complete package and best overall 4080 Super graphics card you can buy in 2024. It dominates in performance, cooling, features, and value. This is the card to get if you want the best of everything. So what do you guys think? Did I get the order right, or did I mess it up somewhere? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. While you're down there, please demolish that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Thank you all so much for watching. Subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you all again soon for another banger video.